Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now, it's been a while since I've done a top 10 video like this, just a top 10 video in general. And this is one I've been working on for quite a while. And this is the top 10 boss battles in Pokemon games, or top 10 Pokemon boss battles. These are my personal favorite. This is all opinionated, and it isn't based on like the strength of a boss. This is just either the most memorable or just, you know, the best for different reasons, whether it's the setting, the music, whatever, just the overall feel of a boss battle. Now, Pokemon games aren't known for traditional boss battles, but what I've included in this video are basically gym leaders, champions, Elite Four members, and even certain Pokemon from Pokemon spin-off games. Now, before I start today's video, I've got two very important things to talk about that should interest some of you guys. First of all, I'm going to be at Eurogamer in Birmingham, which is also known as EGX. It's basically the UK's biggest gaming expo, and I normally go every year, but what makes this year special is that I have a meet and greet with a lot of other cool Pokemon YouTubers, which includes Game Boy Luke, Ace Trainer Liam, Birdkeeper Toby, Faint Attacks, myself, and Duncan Kneedeep. So this will be on the 22nd of September on the Saturday. If you guys are attending or maybe thought about attending, would like to go, I'm going to post like the link to the Eurogamer website in the description. Make sure to come by if you are at Eurogamer over the weekend. That would be awesome to meet some of you guys. I'm going to try and bring a few t-shirts, and I'm going to try and get some posters commissioned, I think, as well, to give out to lucky people who come and see me first. But that's going to be very, very exciting. And the second thing I want to mention is I'm going to be doing a giveaway as soon as this video goes live for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I've been planning to do it for ages, I've just not really set it up yet. And it's going to be very similar to last year's format for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon giveaways, where I'm going to be giving away one on Twitter. All you have to do, guys, is just follow and retweet, and it's basically the same on Instagram. I'll be giving away a copy over there of one of the games. I think I'll be doing Pikachu on Twitter and Eevee on Instagram, but the links will be in the description. I don't have any pictures of like the giveaway art and stuff at the moment because I'm going to be setting it up as soon as I've exported this video, but I will be promoting the EGX Eurogamer and the giveaways in future videos as well. So yeah, those are the two things that are very important. Make sure to check them in the description. And of course, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button. It's always appreciated. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below as well. And with all that out the way, this is like the longest intro ever. I apologize, guys. Let's just start the video. Starting off the video, we have one of the best masterminds in the Pokemon series. This is Ghetsis of Team Plasma. I think it's fair to say that out of all of the Pokemon antagonists, Ghetsis might be the most villainous, as he tries to take over the Unova region not once, but twice. Now, Ghetsis is the main mastermind in both Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2, as well as making an appearance in the latest games, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I will only be considering one of his teams for this video. Now, in my opinion, Ghetsis' strongest team is from Pokemon Black and White. In terms of levels, Ghetsis' strongest team is from Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon with a team in the mid-60s, but at that point in the game, your team should easily dispose of its Pokemon. Whereas in Pokemon Black and White, your Pokemon's levels will be very similar to his. Not only are his Pokemon levels in Black and White slightly higher than Black and White 2's, but his strongest Pokemon, Hydreigon, seems to have been weakened in the sequels. In Black and White 2, Hydreigon runs a physical moveset of Dragon Rush, Crunch, Rock Slide and Frustration, whereas in Black and White, Hydreigon has a special moveset of Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, Surf and Focus Blast, which is a far better moveset. Ghetsis' Black and White team is also more versatile as it contains Cofagrigus, Bouffalont, Seismitoad, Bisharp, Electros and Hydreigon, whereas in Black and White 2, Ghetsis drops Bisharp and Bouffalont for two poison Pokemon, Drapion and Toxicroak. So that's why I picked the Pokemon Black and White team over all his other teams, and not only is it a well balanced team in terms of typings, there really isn't one weak Pokemon in his team, making this boss battle a tough one. Next up is the final boss battle in Pokemon Colosseum against Cypher Head Avice. Out of all of the Pokemon games in the franchise, Colosseum is one of the more difficult, so it's no surprise that the battle against the game's main villain is a tough one. After defeating an onslaught of trainers to make it to the top of the Real Gum Tower, you will first have to fight Nascor, who has a pretty strong team, and the Shadow Metagross. Although you don't have to catch Metagross on your first try, it will definitely help you with the next fight against Avice, and since Metagross has a low catch rate, it can make the preparation before Avice difficult to say the least. When you fight Avice, you'll notice that his team are much higher level than yours, with all his Pokemon being in the level 60s apart from Shadow Tyranitar, which you must try and catch during the battle. At this point in the game, your Pokemon will be around low level 50s, so the level gap will definitely be significant. As for Evice's team, it consists of Slowking, Slaking, Scizor, Machamp, and Tyranitar. Since this boss battle is a double battle, it can be tough to take down Evice's team as your Pokemon can be ganged up on. Slaking is easily Evice's scariest Pokemon, especially when paired up with Slowking, as Slowking can use Skill Swap to remove Slaking's Truant ability, making it an absolute monster. If you manage to take down Slaking, you'll have to deal with a strong and speedy Salamence, as well as catching Evice's Shadow Tyranitar. If this video was based on strength alone, Evice's team will be near the top for sure. Following Evice is a gym battle that I really struggled with when I first played Pokemon Ruby, and just like Evice, this gym leader shares a common Pokemon, Slaking. With that piece of knowledge, you should know that I'm talking about the gym leader Norman. Specifically, I'll be talking about Norman's team from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which is a few levels higher than his team from the remakes. This battle is very memorable for me, as it was the first time in a Pokemon game I got stuck on a battle and had to level grind to beat it. Whenever I replay these games, the battle is just always a tough one for me. Norman's team consists of 2 Slakings and a Vigoroth. Now funnily enough, 2 Slakings might sound like the scariest part about this fight, but Vigoroth was always a tough Pokemon to take down due to its speed, strength, and high critical hit ratio with the move Slash. Now Norman's second Slaking is also a force to be reckoned with, as it has Facade, which doubles the attack if the Pokemon is poisoned, paralysed, or burned. Since Slaking is a bulky Pokemon, it's likely you'll be trying to take it down by giving it a status affliction, so Facade can really ruin your team. On top of that, it has Focus Punch, which if it hits, will most likely be a one-hit KO. Norman's last Slaking also has Slack Off, which heals it up to half of its health, making this Pokemon and boss battle a tough one to beat. This next boss battle is very similar to the previous one. Once again, we're dealing with a normal type gym leader, although this one is far more notorious. This is of course the gym leader Whitney. Somehow or another, Whitney always seems to make it on these Pokemon lists. Personally, I never really had a big problem with Whitney. I must have been pretty lucky because a lot of people seem to have problems with her team. So what makes Whitney difficult? Her team only consists of 2 Pokemon, Clefairy and Miltank. Now Clefairy is a tricky little Pokemon, with moves like Mimic and Encore. Also in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it has the ability Cute Charm, which infatuates Pokemon when they attack Clefairy directly. But of course, we all know the real powerhouse on Whitney's team is her Miltank. It doesn't matter whether you're underleveled or overleveled, Miltank packs a punch, and with the right combination of moves can send your team packing to the Pokemon Center. Miltank knows the move Stomp, which is a good normal stab move and can make you flinch, Rollout, which can destroy your team if Miltank can't be stopped as it gains more power per turn, Attract, which immobilizes any of your male Pokemon, and Milk Drink, which can restore 50% of its health. And believe me, Miltank has a lot of health. If you thought that was bad, it gets worse. Miltank can be healed twice for super potions, and in the remakes it holds a Lomberry which heals it from any status condition, making it hard to slow down with status effects. For so early on in the game, Whitney's team seems a bit unfair, and even more difficult in the remakes, but it is one of the most memorable battles out there, and for some people, one of the toughest. Taking the number 6 spot is the only champion on this list, and personally, my favourite one. This is Cynthia from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl and Platinum. For me, Cynthia has the best team out of any trainer in the entire Pokemon franchise, in my opinion. Not only is her team super strong, with her Garchomp eventually reaching level 78, but her team coverage is fantastic. Her first Pokemon Spiritomb, which is arguably her most annoying Pokemon, has the type combination of Dark and Ghost, making it weak to no types back then as the fairy type had not been introduced. Next up is Roserade, which has a versatile move pool with Energy Ball, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball and Extra Sensory. Then there are the 2 tanks of Cynthia's team, Milotic and Togekiss, which will take a bit of power to take down. Finally, the last 2 Pokemon on her team are her powerhouses, Lucario and Garchomp. Not only do they have great stats and move pools, with moves such as Earthquake, Dragon Pulse, Aura Sphere and Giga Impact between the 2 of them, they're also very high leveled, with Lucario being level 76 and Garchomp being level 78. Only Steven's Metagross in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is a higher level than Garchomp at level 79. Steven is also a very powerful champion, but his team consists of multiple rock and steel Pokemon, leaving him susceptible to multiple type weaknesses. So for all these reasons, I consider Cynthia to be the most powerful champion and one of the best boss battles in Pokemon history. Coming in at the halfway point is the first boss on this list that appears in one of the Pokemon spin-off games. This is Darkrai from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky. Funnily enough, while writing the script, I just beat Darkrai an hour ago, as I've been replaying these games for the first time in years. Darkrai is the final boss in the game, and for a lot of people it was a very tough battle. For the boss battle you will be up against Darkrai and 6 other Pokemon. Darkrai is pretty tough and it can put you to sleep with Nightmare, and with the combination of its ability Bad Dreams can take a lot of health off you quickly. However, at this point in the game you should have prepared well for this fight and brought along some useful items like Reviver Seeds, so it should be relatively straightforward for you. The only problem with this boss battle is that you have to bring along Cresselia, who is the most useless Pokemon in the game. Not only does Cresselia have a terrible moveset, but it has poor defenses and can easily be one-shotted by Darkrai. So if you manage to get to Darkrai through the 30 combined floors of Dark Crater and Deep Dark Crater with most of your Reviver Seeds intact, expect Cresselia to lose you a lot of them. No wonder some fans say Cresselia is the real villain of this game. Taking the number 4 spot is probably a boss battle not many people thought of before this video, because it is the only one that technically doesn't take part in a Pokemon game. This boss is Rayquaza from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I know I might be slightly pushing it with this one, but I was so excited for this battle when I first played the game, and I would play it over and over again, simply because Rayquaza is one of my favourite Pokemon. You can fight Rayquaza in either boss rush mode with any character, or you can fight Rayquaza in the main story with Fox and Diddy Kong. With any character, this boss battle isn't particularly hard, but it's definitely one of the most epic ones out there, as Rayquaza is pretty much to scale, and that was a rare thing back then, with basically only Pokemon Colosseum and Gale of Darkness having Pokemon set to scale, and the fact that we get to fight Rayquaza in real time makes this battle even better. And it's just one of my favourite Pokemon boss battles of all time, even though it doesn't really take place in a Pokemon game, but still, I'm counting it. Jumping back to the Johto region now, this boss battle really signifies all your hard work and all the battles you had to face to get to this point in the game. This boss battle is of course a battle against Red on Mount Silver in Pokemon Gold and Silver and their remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Out of all the Pokemon games, Red is still the highest level trainer battle out there, with his Heart Gold and Soul Silver team containing a level 80 Lapras, level 82 Snorlax, level 84 Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, and a level 88 Pikachu. Now by the time you encounter Red on Mount Silver, you'll have beaten the Pokemon League and obtained 16 badges, but most likely you'll still not be ready for this battle as your team will be under-leveled. Of course, like any battle in the game, if you grind enough, any battle is easy, but the majority of us wanted to take down Red as quick as possible. I remember my first battle with Red and how much I underestimated his team, especially his Pikachu, as I was beaten soundly. If you want to beat Red, you'll want to level up your Pokemon to at least level 80, which isn't easy since when you obtain your last Kanto Gym badge, your team will be around level 60. Since Red has a Pikachu which is almost level 90, you have a lot of catching up to do. His 3 starter Pokemon Venusaur, Charizard and Blastoise also know very powerful moves like Frenzy Plant, Blast Burn and Hydro Cannon, which can easily take down any of your Pokemon if given a chance. You'll need to put in a lot of work and effort to prepare for Red, which is why this is one of the toughest boss battles out there. Just missing out on the number 1 spot is a boss battle that comes from, in my opinion, the most underrated Pokemon spin-off game. This is the boss battle against Nobunaga in Pokemon Conquest. For those who have never played Pokemon Conquest, it plays very similar to Fire Emblem games. Not exactly the same, but that's probably the most popular game series I can compare it to. Now the boss battle against Nobunaga, who is essentially the final boss in the main story, is a very tough one. Similar to Pokemon Go, a Pokemon's power in Pokemon Conquest is 1 strength stat, and Nobunaga's team is very powerful. At this point in the game, each individual Pokemon in your team probably has a strength value between the high 300s and mid 400s. Now not only does Nobunaga use a Zekrom for his Pokemon, but it has a monstrous strength value of 530. Now if your team is strong enough to overpower Nobunaga and the others, you'll have a second fight straight after, only this time Nobunaga is using a shiny Rayquaza. Luckily you'll have the power of Arceus on your side, so this battle isn't too challenging, But man, is it one heck of a boss battle, and in my opinion, one of the best in any Pokemon games. Taking the #1 spot is not only my personal favourite Pokemon boss battle, but is probably my favourite boss battle of all time. This is none other than the battle against Primal Dialga in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky. Now this is how you do a boss battle. At this point in the game you've reached the climax of the first story, and with this you'll be taking on some of the toughest dungeons and bosses the game has to offer. With everything on the line, you'll overcome many obstacles and make your way through Temporal Tower to reach the legendary Primal Dialga. Here is where all your hours of hard work and effort pays off. It's time to settle the score. With a boss area that's similar in design to Spear Pillar from the Sinnoh region, this battle gives off a very grandiose experience, as you and your partner must overcome the odds and take down one of the toughest Pokemon in existence. Also the music. Man, the music for this battle is just incredible, the best even. This battle would have been amazing regardless of the soundtrack, but the music just gives it another layer of epicness to this already incredible boss fight. It's no wonder that this Primal Dialga theme is still listened to by many over 10 years later. So those are my top 10 Pokemon boss battles. Guys, let me know in the comments which one is your favourite and why. And if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that like button down below. It's really appreciated. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon, make sure to hit the subscribe button to become a part of the Twintendo Nation. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!